Good evening and Happy New Year if you're a Live Long and Podcast Radio Theater exclusive fan. It is January 22nd, 2021. This is the premiere of the second season of Star Trek Radio Theater. I'm Dave Mader, proud to present this to you tonight along with our terrific cast. This is a production that's been years in the making. We started planning this in 2020, and now here we are. This has spanned multiple presidential administrations. This has been an immense buildup here, and who knows what else is yet to come. So this is we're starting here with a whole mirror universe theme to season 2. Starting with kind of chronologically the first appearance of the Mirror Universe, which is the Enterprise episode in A Mirror Darkly, which is a two-parter. So we're coming in with an extra heavy episode for tonight, and we're going to be continuing that into next week when we're going to do Star Trek Discovery, with Enterprise and Discovery being two shows we've never done here on Radio Theater. So we're excited to bring that to you. We have a whole great cast here live. We also have the part of Phlox, played by Jaemeel Robinson, is pre-recorded that we will be playing along with our sound effects tonight, just for full disclosure. So I think that suits it, and good luck, everybody. And we're going to come off video, and we hope you enjoy the show.
We focus on Bozeman, Montana, April 5th, 2063. A bunch of ragged humans watch a sleek alien ship land at their rough and ready camp. It's the movie First Contact, basically, as Zephyr Cochrane comes forward to meet their Vulcan visitors.
Live long and prosper.
Zephyr tries to mimic his salute. Then in a close-up, we see his hand go into his coat and pull out a big gun. With which he shoots the Vulcan dead. This is a cue for the rest of the group.
Board that ship! Take everything you can!
And they do, leading us into opening credits with unfamiliar music that starts the same and then becomes very different, with images of conflict instead of exploration, and a final logo of Earth with a sword through it.
It's been a long road getting from the
Captain Starlog, January 13th, 2155. We've left Gorland Station and have set a course to rendezvous with our assault fleet. Major Reed and the Doctor have asked for a few minutes to show me their latest project.
We focus on the Agony booth. A Tellarite in a Starfleet uniform is suffering. Reed is present, wearing the uniform of a MACO.
The booth will be far more effective than our previous disciplinary methods.
It can stimulate the pain center of virtually any humanoid. A synaptic scan calibrates it for each species.
Archer looks unimpressed.
They call this progress? There's something to be said about a good old-fashioned flogging.
Well, that's what's so exceptional about this device. Traditional forms of punishment can overwhelm the nervous system. After a time, the brain ceases to feel anything.
These sensors continually shift the stimulation from one nerve cluster to another, keeping the subject in a constant state of agony.
I think you enjoy your work too much, Doctor.
What exactly did Mr. Tariff do?
I'm not certain. I suspect he was late for his duty shift. Aren't all Tellarites guilty of something?
Forrest leaves, and Archer scurries after him. We focus on a corridor. Archer and Forrest are walking.
Did you get a chance to look over my proposal?
I read it.
And
We're going to rendezvous with the fleet as ordered. I'm not going into Thulian space based on data from some anonymous source. Maybe you haven't heard, but we have a rebellion to put down. Those Tholians aren't part of it.
Archer stops, angry. Forrest stops as well.
you saw the data. This technology would give us a tactical advantage. We can end a war tomorrow.
Forrest is pissed.
You see, this is your big chance, don't you?
Sir?
You bring that ship home and you'll be a hero. The Emperor pins a medal on your chest. You might even get that command you've always wanted.
You're getting weak if you say sorry, but my only concern is saving the Empire.
Shut your mouth. Resume your station.
Captain, you're making a mistake.
Forrest has had enough.
I've had enough. You can't either go back to the bridge or take the place of that Tellarite. Which do you prefer?
Archer pauses to think it over.
Understood.
We focus on Forrest quarters. They seem somewhat larger than we're used to. Hoshi is present, wearing a negligee.
What do you think you're doing?
Reviewing status reports. Oh, yeah.
This is supposed to be your sanctuary, a place to get away from status reports.
She turns off the monitor and kisses him passionately.
Mm.
You're the one person on the ship that I don't mind giving into.
And probably the only one who doesn't want to slip a knife in your back. I heard the battle went well at Tau Ceti.
Oh, is that what you heard?
Word on the ship is the war may be over soon. I'll go back to Brazil, start teaching again. You'll accept a comfortable desk at headquarters. We'll have the weekends.
You've been listening to propaganda. Things went badly at Tal Ceti. Very badly. We lost 12 ships. Keep this to yourself. If the crew learns of what really happened.
Forget about the war. This is our time.
They begin to kiss again.
Forrest.
We focus on a turbolift. Forrest's bodyguard opens the door to reveal Reed and a female MACO. The bodyguard is shot. Forrest reaches for his weapon, but Archer and MACO Travis, complete with earring, comes from behind to take it off him.
Don't.
You'll hang for this.
Lock him in the brig.
Sir, let me take him down to the cargo bay. I'll finish him quickly. Quietly.
I want him alive.
Still, it'd be tragic if there was an accident on the way to the brig.
Archer slams Reed against the bulkhead.
If anything happens to Forrest, I'll shoot you myself. Are we clear, Major?
Perfectly, sir.
We focus on the bridge. T'Pol is slouched in the captain's chair, bare midriff fully on display and hair down below her shoulders.
Stand aside, Commander.
Where's Captain Forrest?
T'Pol turns to a bridge officer.
Contact security.
Travis shoots him.
This is First Officer Archer. In accordance with Starfleet orders, this date.
We focus on Forrest's quarters. Hoshi is laying in bed reading.
I've relieved Captain Forrest of duty and assumed command of Enterprise. My orders are to...
We focus on sickbay. Phlox is doing a spot of recreational vivisection.
Take the ship into Tholian space for a mission of vital importance to the Empire. I can't reveal the details of our assignment, but I can tell you this.
We focus on engineering. Tucker has similar scarring to Captain Pike in Menagerie.
If we are successful, Starfleet will crush the rebellion once and for all.
We focus on the bridge.
No crew in Starfleet has been tested more in battle. I know I can count on each of you to perform your duty to the best of your ability. Nothing will impede our march toward victory. Long live the Empire!
Long live the
Long live
Empire!
the Empire!
Live the Empire.
T'Pol walks over to Archer and speaks quietly so the rest of the bridge can't hear.
We've received no such communiques from Starfleet Command.
It was sent on a private channel.
I'd like to see those orders.
All in good time. Alter our heading. 215 Mark 13. Maximum warp.
Yes, Captain.
Corporal, escort Commander T'Pol to Cargo Bay 2. You'll find a Suliban cloaking device there. Bring it to engineering and help Tucker install it. We're going to need the cloak to complete this mission.
T'Pol and the corporal leave the bridge. Archer walks over and sits in the captain's chair.
Enterprise Starlog, Captain Jonathan Archer. The crew has accepted the change of command without incident. Chief Engineer Tucker reports we'll have cloaking capability within 6 hours.
We focus on the ready room. Where the pictures of various enterprises used to hang, there are now racks of historic weaponry.
These orders appear to be authentic.
Appear? All I require from you is your loyalty. Do I have it?
You are in command.
I'm glad we can agree on something. Do you recognize this?
Archer holds up an antique shotgun.
It belonged to Zephyr Cochrane. He used it to kill the first Vulcan who stepped onto Terran soil. I wonder how history would have played out if Cochrane hadn't turned the tables on your invasion force. Humans might be your slaves instead of the other way around.
I am not a slave.
You're Vulcan! Never forget that. How long until we cross into Tholian space?
It's likely we already have. They frequently annex systems outside their core territory.
There's a warp signature encoded on this. Notify me the moment you find it.
If there's nothing further.
She turns to leave, but Archer stops her.
There is. I'm promoting you to first officer.
Major Reed's next in line. He won't be pleased.
Reed is a capable soldier, but he has trouble following orders, and I know he has ambitions of his own.
You've made it clear you don't approve of Vulcans.
Maybe this is my way of saying thank you to you and your people. Without Vulcan technology, the Empire wouldn't be where it is today. Dismissed.
We focus on Archer's quarters.
Serving as my personal guard will have its privileges. You'll have your own quarters, better food. You'll accept orders from me and me alone, is that clear?
Yes, sir. And Captain, if I may, I'd like to be the first to congratulate you on a brilliant strategy. I'm certain that in years to come.
You already have the job, Sergeant. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't mind Porthos. He hasn't had his dinner yet. Come in.
Hoshi is escorted in.
That'll be all.
Travis leaves.
You didn't receive a communique from Starfleet. I would have known if something came through. A mutiny? Didn't think you had it in you?
I'll take that as a compliment.
Where's Captain Forrest?
He's safe.
How do I know that you didn't push him out of an airlock?
He shows her Captain Forrest in the brig on his desk monitor.
I want to talk to him.
Not right now. He'll remain alive as long as you don't cause any trouble. No hidden distress signals to Starfleet. I need you and your expertise.
Hoshi turns around and attempts to proposition Archer.
Is that all you need? You've never forgiven me for leaving. I'm sorry if I hurt you.
You saw an opportunity for advancement, and you took it.
Just as you did. You should have been captain from the moment we left Space Dock. You've always known that. If it hadn't been for all those admirals conspiring behind your back, Enterprise would have been yours. Tradition says that whatever belonged to the previous captain is yours for the taking.
I've never been one to argue with tradition.
They kiss. She pulls a knife from the back of her bodice, and he takes it off her, all the time with their lips glued together.
T-Paul to Captain Archer.
Maybe we should keep our relationship on a professional level.
He throws her to the ground.
Captain Archer, please respond.
Go ahead.
We're approaching the warp signature.
On my way.
He walks over to Hoshi and puts the knife to her throat.
I expect you to be in a better mood when I get back.
We focus on the bridge. Archer and Mayweather enter.
Captain on the bridge.
We're closing on the target, 20,000 kilometers.
There's one biosign aboard. Tholian.
Powered attractor emitters.
He's seen us. He's arming weapons.
Disable his ship. I don't want the pilot injured.
A barrage of torpedoes hit the blue dart ship.
Done.
There's an overload building in his reactor.
Major!
It wasn't my doing, sir. I targeted his weapons only.
I believe the pilot may be attempting to destroy his own ship.
Lock on the transporter. Beam him into the decon chamber.
Captain?
The Tholian ship explodes.
We have the pilot.
Archer to sickbay. We beamed a Tholian into decon.
We focus on sickbay.
Modify the atmosphere in there.
Phlox leaves his latest primate subject.
It may take a moment. Tholians have a rather extreme life support requirements.
Increasing was that me? Increasing temperature to 400.
Now,
Weird noises come over the decon intercom.
if you're angry now, just wait.
We focus on the corridor outside decon.
How is he?
How are they? Would be more accurate. Tholians possess both male and female characteristics. Its biosigns, such as they are, appear to be stable.
Will it understand me?
Hoshi nods, and Archer peers into the decon chamber. He sees nothing, then suddenly... a very red-hot alien jumps up into view, startling everyone.
Wow, he's red hot. I'm Captain Archer. You're on board the Terran flagship Enterprise. Answer my questions or you will be harmed.
It's demanding to be released.
I want to know where you're holding the Terran vessel you captured.
My people will find your ship and destroy it.
A minor adjustment to life support should make it more cooperative. Decreasing temperature 50 degrees.
Tell me what I want to know.
Something about your maternal ancestor?
My. Take it down another 50.
Its exoskeleton is beginning to fracture.
I agree.
Duh.
Archer gestures for the temperature to go up again.
Go on.
The ship is in the Vintac system at a facility orbiting the gas giant.
A strange noise starts up.
What the hell is that?
A short-range transmission.
A distress signal. You think he has a comm device in there?
Its crystalline structure may act as a natural transmitter.
Sir, I recommend we beam it into space immediately.
No. I need to keep it alive for now, until I can verify what it's told us. Find some way to knock that thing out.
Yes, Captain.
We focus on engineering. Thick cables lead from the warp drive to the cloaking device.
Biggs! Get the commander a radiation meter. You don't want to end up like me, do you? I've absorbed enough delta rays to guarantee my grandchildren glow in the dark.
Flux coupler?
They say for every year you spend next to one of these, you lose a decade of your life expectancy. Which means I'll probably be dead by the end
You should
of
speak
the
to Captain
week.
Archer about a promotion.
Well, you're his first officer. You could talk to
Why would
him
I do that?
for me.
Tucker presses himself up against Paul.
I
We
did
agreed
you
never
a
to discuss
favor
that.
once. And I
I'd hardly call it a favor.
haven't.
You enjoyed yourself.
Several times as as I recall. So, how many years is it until your Ponfar comes
A
around
strange noise starts
again?
up.
Where the hell's that
And then energy
coming
pulse
from?
goes along a cable to the cloak.
Pull the matrix converters.
It's too late. It goes bang and throws him to the floor.
Ah!
A short time later, Phlox is treating Tripp's injuries.
Can you... Oh, right, I have to sing to you. Can you repair the cloak?
It'll take at least
You
a
have 6
day.
hours.
There are dozens of EPS feeds on this deck, and the only one that overloads is the one connected to the cloaking device.
The systems. internal sensors are down. We've lost craft plating on G deck.
The cloak's your first priority.
I am clearly not high enough.
Archer turns to Reed.
Someone's responsible for what happened. Find out who.
My people can investigate this. I don't need his kind of crawling around and pulling relays.
Get the cloak online.
We focus on the brig.
Who sabotaged the cloak?
Was something damaged? All I could hear was singing.
Damn good singing. I know Admiral Black as an agent on Enterprise. I want a name.
Do you really think the Admiral would plant a spy on my ship and then tell me who it was? It was probably the singing guy.
Archer turns to Mayweather.
Go to his quarters. Search his personal files, especially for music. Look for messages from Starfleet.
Follow his orders and you'll be executed as a co-conspirator.
Aye, Captain. But to who?
Yeah.
We're not sure. Travis leaves.
Oh, that's me. This isn't like you, Jonathan. You never lusted for power or glory. That's why I trusted you at my side all these years, because you have no ambition.
Archer opens the door and walks in. Punches him in the kidneys and throws him against the wall.
If that's right, then why are you in the brig?
Archer puts Forrest in a stranglehold.
Strangle, strangle, strangle.
Sorry, I was muted. Strangled. Release me, and I'll promise your death will be quick. You won't get that guarantee from the Admiral.
Archer pulls the dagger from his belt and holds it up to Forrest's face.
Kill me, and she'll never forgive you.
With that, Archer releases Forrest and leaves the brig. We focus on the Situation Room. Reed is briefing Archer on the sabotage.
The saboteur entered this junction and deliberately overloaded the EPS waveguide.
That junction's supposed to be off limits.
The intruder alarms were disabled.
How?
There's only one way I know of, by running a high-level diagnostic scan. Commander Tucker initiated the scan 30 minutes before they overload.
We focus on the agony booth. Archer is interrogating Tucker.
Who ordered you to sabotage the cloak?
I didn't.
Reed is at the controls and enjoying himself.
Reed, I'll kill you when I get out
I'd
of
like
this.
to see you try.
I checked the records. Admiral Black recommended you for chief engineer. He insisted Forrest replace his own man with you. You're working for the Admiral, aren't you? What have you told him?
Captain, You've got it all wrong. Ah! Wasn't
I
me.
see I have to sing again. What have you told him?
Please, Captain, I've always been loyal to you.
Archer walks over to Reed.
Damn it, singing isn't working. Break him!
Archer leaves, and Reed continues torturing Tucker. We focus on Archer's quarters. Hoshi and Archer are in bed together, sweaty and naked.
It hasn't been that good in a long time. The third things a girl will give up for her career.
The data I gave you. Did you transmit it to Fleet Admiral?
Of course. What was it?
Insurance policy.
He sits up.
What's wrong?
Tucker's a competent engineer. If he wanted to damage the cloak, he could have done a much better job.
Well, it couldn't have been easy with Paul looking over his shoulder.
With that comment, Archer has a realization.
Computer, locate Commander DePaul.
Unable to comply. Internal sensors are offline.
The sensors were damaged by the overload.
What's going on?
Archer grabs a phase pistol from his drawer.
Stay here.
We focus on the brig. T'Pol and her Vulcan allies stage a jailbreak just as Archer gets there. 2 MACOs are guarding the inside of the brig when the door opens. A stun grenade is thrown in. There's a gunfight in the corridor. Then Archer ducks into a turbolift. We focus on the brig. T'Pol releases Forrest from his cell.
I was wondering what was keeping you.
I needed time to find help.
No alarm?
I've disabled the internal sensors in the comm system.
Ooh, we'll take the bridge first.
We focus on the bridge. They shoot the duty officer and the helm officer.
Set a course. Set a course out of Tholian space. Maximum warp.
I can't alter our heading.
Full stop.
The helm's not responding.
The turbolift door opens, and Archer is there, empty-handed.
Having trouble?
You shifty bastard. You did this.
Auto navigation can't be released until we've reached the coordinates I've set.
Restore the controls now.
I can't. They've been encrypted with a random code.
Can you override the helm?
It'll take several days to break the encryption.
We'll arrive at the coordinates long before then.
Archer sarcastically makes the Terran salute to his chest.
The bridge is yours, Captain.
We focus on the agony booth. Archer is in the agony booth. Forrest enters.
10 hours in the booth. Impressive.
Get him out of there.
Archer falls out of the perspex tube, very sweaty.
Oh, yeah.
Bring Major Reed. I want him to spend some time in this invention of his.
Phlox and the MACO guard leave to retrieve Reed.
You going to shoot me now or wait for court-martial?
Fleet Admiral Gardner's ordered you released. He received the data you sent him. The Admiral finds your suggestions intriguing. Since you've already locked us on this course, I've been ordered to investigate your mystery ship.
Archer begins to come up to his feet, but Forrest grabs him.
You betrayed me. Don't think for one moment I'm going to forget that.
Archer is thrown to the floor by Forrest.
Get cleaned up. You're briefing the senior staff in an hour.
We focus on the conference room.
A parallel universe. The Science Directorate has examined all of these theories. They found no evidence of alternate realities.
The Tholians are a little more open-minded than your people.
Archer conducts his presentation with the help of the view screen.
They detonated a tri-cobalt warhead here, inside the gravity well of a dead star. The explosion created an interphasic rift, a doorway into another universe.
A doorway.
The rift was unstable. It was too dangerous to send one of their own ships through, so they transmitted a distress call into the opening, hoping to lure a ship from the other side. Their plan worked brilliantly.
How did you learn all this?
The Tholians rely on outside laborers, humanoids. Some of them can be bought for the right price.
I hope you didn't pay too much.
My contact transmitted these images before his signal was jammed.
You can barely see
Computer.
anything.
Enhanced Grid 3 Alpha.
Just sticking out of the moon is the saucer section of NCC 1764.
An Earth ship?
According to some theories, everything that exists in our universe should also exist there.
Another Terran Empire? Another Starfleet?
So, what? How does
The
this
Tholians
help
quantum dated a
us?
piece of the hull. This ship is not only from another universe, it's from another time, about 100 years into the future. Imagine the technology we can find on that ship. New tactical systems, advanced bioweapons, engines that can reach speeds we can only dream of. All of it ours for the taking.
This is ludicrous, Captain. Someone has fabricated this evidence to lure us here. Commander Archer is guilty of assault and mutiny.
That's enough, Commander.
Sir, I believe we should send...
I said shut up! We're investigating this. Get that cloaking device working.
We focus on engineering. Tucker is working. T'Pol enters.
The captain wants a progress report.
I'll need another minute to calibrate the
Tucker
field
walks across the room, but
converters.
can't contain his anger any longer.
I spent 4 hours in the booth
Perhaps you should
because
direct your
of
anger at
you.
Commander Archer.
You disabled the alarms in that junction and made it look like I
mistaken.
did it. The hell I am. I think I'd remember if I had sabotaged the
necessarily.
ship. What did you do to
to
I lured you away
me.
from engineering with the promise of a sexual encounter.
We focus on T'Pol's quarters, a memory.
My mind to your mind. Once we're alone in my quarters, I implanted a telepathic suggestion. My thoughts to your thoughts. I compelled you to sabotage the power grid.
We focus on engineering.
After you completed the assignment, we melded again. I altered your memory of what had happened. Couldn't stop the singing, though. It was my duty to help Captain Forrest regain command.
You're going to regret what you did.
Threats are illogical.
Tucker hits the comm panel.
Engineering to bridge.
Oh, him again. Go ahead.
We're ready.
We focus on the bridge.
I'm going to have to wait, have to do that again. I'm going to have to channel everything except auxiliary power.
Engage the cloak.
We focus on engineering. T'Pol still doesn't care. Tucker walks over to his console and activates the device. The Enterprise shimmers out of sight and continues on its journey.
We've reached the coordinates. Auto navigation has disengaged.
Let's see where we are.
It's an aqua-colored gas giant with rings and moons.
Magnify the moon on the far right.
It's the ship from the briefing. It's a Constellation-class ship, the USS Defiant. We focus on the Situation Room. T'Pol is briefing the senior officers.
Primary systems are offline, including life support. We're reading 13 biosigns, all alien. One of them appears to be reptilian. They're clustered in this section.
She indicates the area where the nacelles join the lower decks.
Any sign of the crew?
We've detected no human signatures.
It's likely the crew was executed.
Look at the size of those coils. I'll bet that thing could do warp 7.
We'll send an assault team aboard.
Forrest directs his attention to Archer.
You brought us here, you lead it. Download whatever you can from the database, then destroy the ship and maybe Tucker.
I wish I could. Destroy it! We have to take the ship with us.
It's too dangerous. Just leave Tucker. We're deep in Tullian space.
Sir, you can't do this. Except maybe to Tucker.
You have your orders. Dismissed.
Archer, Reed, and Tucker leave. Forrest pulls T'Pol aside.
Go with him. I don't want Archer to return from this mission. Do I make myself clear, Commander?
T'Pol nods. We focus on the USS Defiant. Five figures in EV suits beam aboard.
Someone's removed these components.
They're gutting the ship.
They come across a figure in a red shirt laying on the corridor floor. T'Pol scans the body.
Human.
Archer rolls him over. Ensign Ricky has a big hole in his chest. Archer picks up his phaser.
If you'd like, sir, I could hold that for you.
So, Archer puts it in his belt. We focus on the Enterprise decon chamber. The Tholian has started making noises again.
Nap time isn't over yet.
But this time, he can't stop the signal. We focus on the bridge.
I'm picking up a transmission. It's coming from decon.
Bridge to Phlox.
We focus on the decon chamber.
What's happening down there?
The sedative is no longer working.
Well, then kill it now!
With pleasure.
We focus on the bridge.
3 ships are moving toward our position.
Doctor?
We focus on the decon chamber.
A few more seconds, Captain. Will you kindly die?
The 6-legged Tholian finally explodes like glass.
Phlox to bridge.
We focus on the bridge.
You won't be having any further trouble with our guest.
One of the Tholian ships is hailing us.
We focus on the USS Defiant bridge.
This must be the captain.
His neck's broken.
We should be able to overload the reactor.
Get
from here.
started.
We focus on the Enterprise bridge.
4 more ships.
Contact Archer. Tell him to abort the mission. Lay in a course out of here.
They're jamming us.
The Tholian ships start to create their web around the Enterprise. A Tholian web, if you will.
Target the nearest ship and fire. Oh yeah.
No damage.
Torpedo launchers, fire when ready.
The torpedoes light up the web, and the Enterprise becomes visible. The Tholians start firing at them.
They can see us.
Things start to go bang bang.
Get us out of here. Engineering, disengage the cloak and transfer all power to engines.
The cloak's not responded, sir.
We focus on the USS Defiant bridge.
How much longer?
I don't know. Maybe you'd like to take a stab at it.
I can activate their systems.
Stand aside, Commander.
Almost there.
Lights come on, panels activate, and from outside we see the nacelles start to spin up.
Enterprise is under attack.
We focus on the Enterprise bridge.
Hull plating's down. We've lost power on decks C, D, and E.
Engineering to bridge. The containment fields are failing.
Can you vent the antimatter?
Negative. Reactor breach in 3 minutes.
This is the captain. All hands to escape pods except Tucker. Abandon ship.
The bridge crew is stunned.
You heard my order. No Tucker.
The bridge
I'm
crew
on the
begin to evacuate.
What do you think you're doing?
Tried to kill Tucker, but it's not working. I'll buy you as much time as I can. Get out of here now.
Hoshi leaves with the others. We focus on the USS Defiant bridge. Tucker is there. The away team have taken their helmets off.
Enterprise is taking heavy damage.
I have to change how I talk to them. Can y'all bring weapons and engines online?
I'll see what I can do.
Archer points to the bodies on the floor.
Give me a hand with them.
Meanwhile, Enterprise escape pods are being picked off one by one. On Enterprise Bridge, we see that Forrest is at the helm. Back on the Defiant, T'Pol looks up to the view screen.
Commander.
They all look at the view screen as the Enterprise explodes inside the Tholian web.
Not here.
Archer calls out to Tucker for an update.
Commander!
You've got thrusters.
Release the docking clamps.
I can't.
What about weapons?
This power grid's a mess. It's going to take a few
Sir,
minutes.
the shields are functional.
Raise them.
Our shields are weakening the clamps, but they're still holding.
Archer takes control of the helm.
I'll alternate port and starboard thrusters. That should shake them loose.
We're free.
Firing aft thrusters.
6 Tholian ships moving toward us.
How much longer for weapons?
The power couplings have been removed. I don't know if I can bypass them.
Sir! Archer turns to the view screen to see another web being constructed.
Mr. Tucker!
Stand by!
T'Pol
I
runs
could use
over.
some help over here. When I tell you, shunt the plasma to
3
the
more
forward
ships
emitters.
approaching.
Just a few more seconds.
There's a jolt.
What was that?
They've locked on a tractor beam. We're being pulled back into the dock.
It's now or never!
So what? Stand by. Stand by.
Tactical systems are online.
Now!
Reed fires phasers to destroy the tractor emitter. Then blows up 3 of the Tholian ships, disabling the web.
Full thrusters.
The remaining ships are retreating.
The station's opened fire.
Does this thing have aft torpedoes?
You better believe it. They're armed.
A salvo destroys the station.
Escape pods, 12 kilometers off the port bow. They're ours.
Bring them on board.
We focus on the briefing room.
I don't know if you're going to sing or if you're going to be a cowboy. So I'm just going to say it straight. We need warp drive.
Engineers being stripped to the bulkheads, but the good news is most of what they took was sitting in my dick. But I need time to figure out how to put it all back together again.
How much time?
2 or maybe 3 days. So I'm not even sure what some of these systems are supposed to do. It's like I'm a chief engineer on a steamship coming aboard the first interplanetary transport.
If we don't have warp capability in 12 hours, I'm going to find a new chief engineer.
I suggest we make use of the alien workers. They may know something about these systems.
Keep them under close surveillance. Once warp drive is restored, we'll set a course to rendezvous with the assault fleet.
We're in no condition for battle.
We made quick work of the Tholians.
The ship is designed to be operated by a crew of 400. There are only 47 of us. The logical course of action is to take Defiant to Earth, allow Starfleet to study it, reverse engineer its systems.
There's no time. The Empire could lose this war in a matter of weeks if we don't get the Defiant and its weapons to the front lines. Dismissed, Commander.
He grabs T'Pol's arm.
Not you.
The rest of the senior staff leave, and Archer takes Travis's weapon.
I should shoot you for betraying me.
The orders giving you command of Enterprise were obviously fabricated. It was my duty as Starfleet officer to help Captain Forrest regain control of his ship.
It was a revolution! You swore your loyalty to me.
You should be aware Captain Forrest ordered me to kill you.
Why are you telling me this?
Forrest is dead. His orders are no longer valid. You are my commanding officer.
I never had a problem with your people until they became a part of this rebellion. If I had another officer capable of doing your job, I'd show you to the nearest airlock. I need you to get this shit up and running. But if I hear so much as a rumor that you're working behind my back...
Understood.
Get out.
We focus on the captain's quarters. Hoshi enters. Archer is in a green wraparound tunic with gold braid, Captain Kirk style.
What are you wearing?
I found it in the captain's wardrobe.
These people had some strange ideas about uniforms.
I can't find a mention of it anywhere.
A mention of what?
The Empire. As far as I can tell, it doesn't exist in the other universe.
No empire.
A lot of the names are the same, but their history has been rewritten. Instead of building an empire, Earth became part of an interspecies alliance.
Hoshi takes a look at the monitor on the desk.
The United Federation of Planets.
More like a federation of fools.
What about us? Do we exist in this universe?
Computer, access biographical file. Starfleet officer, Hoshi Sato.
Working.
Hoshi Sato, comm officer on Starfleet's first Warp 5 ship. In her late 30s, she created the Lingua Code Translation Matrix.
At least she was remembered for something.
I can tell you who she married. It even says how you died.
Stop. I don't want to know.
But this isn't you.
I don't care.
Archer pours himself another drink.
Computer. Display file on Starfleet Officer Jonathan Archer.
Working.
son of famed warp specialist Henry Archer, Jonathan was appointed captain of Starfleet's first Warp 5 ship. His name is among the most recognized in the Federation. He earned an impressive list of commendations during his career. Historians called him the greatest explorer of the 22nd century. 2 planets were named after him.
Archer
Hey!
switches it off with his fist.
There's nothing great about that man. He sold out Earth's future to a group of subhuman species. Great men are not peacemakers. Great men are conquerors.
Forget about him. Your future is just beginning. Can you imagine the look on the Emperor's face when he sees this ship? You'll be declared hero of the Empire. Starfleet will have to give you a command of your own.
I already have a command of my own.
We focus on a Jeffries tube. Tucker is wearing engineering red.
What's the problem?
Somebody pulled both plasma regulators out of these housings.
Why are you bothering me with this?
No, sir.
They're probably
they
on the
don't
hangar
understand.
deck.
You were there 10 minutes ago. I went to get this coupler. When I came back, regulators they were gone.
Ah, pish posh. You'd better find them. Because if this junction's not online in 10 minutes, I'm going to tell Archer. You're the reason we don't have warp drive.
I will get to the chopper, sir.
There's a strange noise. So Kelby climbs up into a junction to investigate.
Oh, who's in here?
He finds one of the regulators on the floor and picks it up. Then we see him being dragged upwards, screaming.
Ah, at least I don't have to hear Tucker sing anymore. Ah!
I'm Scottish now.
We focus on the bridge. All except Phlox are now in the original series era uniforms.
I found traces of reptilian saliva in the ensign's wound.
Something bit him?
Unless one of them owned a velociraptor, I find it extremely unlikely.
Can you find this thing on internal sensors?
It's not in the primary hull. Sensors are still offline on the engineering decks.
Perhaps it was a pet owned by one of the original crew.
Unless one of them owned a velociraptor, I find it extremely unlikely.
Tucker enters.
There's no sign of the regulators anywhere. Without them, we can't initialize the reaction chamber. We're stuck at impulse.
Whoever sabotaged us knew exactly which components to steal.
The slaves we captured. Bring one of them to the briefing room.
Certainly, sir.
We focus on the briefing room. Travis is interrogating an unfamiliar blue-skinned alien with his fists.
What attacked my crewmen?
He promised he'd kill us if we told you.
I'll kill you now if you don't.
Please!
Stand aside.
He draws his phaser.
T-Paul to Major Reed. Bring another prisoner to the briefing room.
Acknowledged.
Archer is holding an original series phaser.
From what I'm told, the maximum setting can actually disintegrate a person. I've been looking forward to trying it.
Archer holds the phaser to the alien's neck.
His name is Slar!
Whose name?
Our slave master! He was in charge of the salvage operation. When you boarded the ship, he hid the service crawlways. He was planning to sabotage the ship.
Where in the crawlways?
Possibly near the power transfer conduits on Deck 22. It's warm there. His species likes it warm.
What species?
Gorn. He's a Gorn.
Any award for him?
We focus on the bridge. A schematic of the Defiant is up on the view screen.
We had it cornered in turboshaft 3, but it appears to have escaped through this access tube. That's when we lost contact with Mackenzie and Brown.
Mirror Archer turns to see Prime Archer sitting on the captain's chair. What is happening?
Ooh, they're taking too long. When my ship was in jeopardy, I didn't let security handle the situation. I took care of it myself.
The awkward Archer hallucination disappears and we focus back on Archer.
I'd have better luck sending a squad of Tellarites to capture this thing. Put an assault team together. I'll lead it myself.
Sir, I'm picking up a signal from inside the ship. I think it's reptile.
Can you pinpoint its location?
The frequency's scrambled.
I want to talk to it.
The translator matrix is tied in.
This is Captain Archer. Return our plasma regulators now.
I want to leave this ship.
Give me what I want, and we'll talk.
No, I'm familiar with your species. Humans are not trustworthy.
We focus on an access tube. There's a CGI dinosaur-style Gorn instead of a man in a rubber suit. Somehow, it looks worse.
You will give me a shuttlecraft. Once I'm away from this ship, I'll tell you where to find the regulators.
We focus on the bridge.
You listen here, Voldemort. This is not a negotiation. The regulators, now! If you don't comply, I'll give the order.
He closed the channel.
Major, get the team together. Your best men.
The Gorn's offer is reasonable.
He has no intention of returning to regulators. If we give him a shuttle, he'll contact his people and come back here with a warship. Without warp drive, we'll be an easy target.
Archer exits the bridge to the turbolift. We focus on the turbolift. Archer's weird Archer hallucination is back and creepily whispering in his ear.
Ooh, defeat this Gorn and you'll finally earn the respect you deserve.
We focus on the access tube. Several crew members head into the tube to attempt to find the Gorn.
There's a biosign, very faint, in access tube 7 Alpha near junction 3.
I'll seal off the bulkhead here. That'll leave him with only one escape route. Flush him out. Drive him into this junction. I'll be waiting for him.
Understood.
Reed and 2 MACOs head one way, Archer and the other MACO another. Reed thinks he's found his prey. But Slar has just left his communicator open on the floor.
Reed to Captain Archer.
Go ahead.
It's not here. He's modified a communicator to emit a false biosign.
Meet us in junction 3.
Acknowledged. Shut that bloody thing off.
The MACO does so. We see the Gorn's hand press a button, and Reed spots a bunch of red flashing lights on some sort of disc on the ceiling.
It's a trap!
A bomb explodes. Archer and his escort arrive at the bloody and burning scene.
I've failed you, Captain.
Reed loses consciousness.
Archer to T'Pol. Where is it?
The Gorns moved into the primary hull. It's on deck 9.
We focus on the access tube.
We're going to Plan B. Access the environmental controls on that deck. Wait for my signal.
Acknowledged.
We focus on deck 9. Sklar watches as Archer makes his way along the corridor, stepping over bodies. Then he drops on them and they fight. Archer is injured, and the MACO hits Sklar over the head with his weapon until the Gorn comes after him instead. Sklar kills the MACO and turns back to Archer.
Are you kidding me? You hit him in the head and you could have shot. Anyways, Archer to DePaul, Section 4A, on my mark.
Standing by.
Now!
Enhancing grav plating.
Sklar is dragged to the floor.
Grav plating's at 20 Gs.
2 more MACO turn up.
Give me your weapon.
Archer fires at Sklar 6 times, just in case.
Double tap, bitch. Defiant Starlog, January 18th, 2155. We've recovered the missing engine components, and I've ordered a course to rendezvous with the assault fleet.
We focus on the recreation room. T'Pol and Phlox are together at a table, eating.
What's Major Reed's condition?
At this point, he could go either way. No doubt, there'll be several discrete celebrations if he should expire.
I notice you've been making extensive use of the library database.
I was merely researching classical literature. I wanted to compare our major works with their counterparts in the other universe. I skimmed a few of the more celebrated narratives. The stories were similar in some respects, but their characters were weak and compassionate, with the exception of Shakespeare, of course. From what I can tell, his plays were equally grim in both universes.
Examine their historical files. You may want to learn more about their federation. Did you know in the other universe, humans and Denobulans are considered equals, as are Vulcans? You don't find this interesting?
I find it dangerous. If I were the captain, I would restrict access to that database. I am certain he wouldn't want to give his crew any ideas.
Perhaps you should reconsider the repercussions.
This is the captain. All hands to battle stations.
We focus on the ISS Avenger bridge. Rebel ships are firing on the Empire ship. They are taking casualties.
Report! All breach on B deck. Emergency bulkheads are engaged.
Concentrate your fire on the Andorians!
Hull plating's at 32%. Admiral, there's another vessel approaching.
More rebels?
No.
We focus on the Defiant soaring into battle. The Defiant blows the rebels to pieces. We focus on the Defiant bridge. Direct hits!
The Tellarite ships open fire. No damage.
Lock on their reactor. Fire when ready.
Target destroyed.
The Vulcan ships trying to escape.
Pursuit course.
Captain, they're no threat to us. I recommend we...
Fire when ready.
5 torpedoes dispose of the elegant curved ship.
The last Andorian ship is retreating.
Weapons are locked.
No, let them go. I want the other rebels to know what happened here. Get me Admiral Black.
Admiral Black appears on the view screen.
Archer?
Sorry we're late to the party, Admiral.
Where's Enterprise? Is Captain Forrest with you?
It's going to take some time to explain, sir. Perhaps you'd like to see the Defiant for yourself.
We focus on the briefing room.
A most impressive vessel, Commander. With technology on this ship at our disposal, the rebels won't stand a chance.
Glad you agree, sir.
I intend to recommend that you get your own command at the earliest opportunity.
Respectfully, sir, you have the authority to grant a battlefield promotion.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a ship to give you at this moment.
The Defiant.
I'm sure the Fleet Admiral has other plans for this ship.
Hallucination Archer is back, whispering ideas into Archer's ear.
Ooh, they're never going to give you this ship, you know that. They'll tear it apart, try to learn its secrets. If you're lucky, you'll end up commanding a moon shuttle. Don't you see what the Admiral's planning? He's going to present the ship to the Emperor himself. He'll take all the credit, and you'll end up a historical footnote.
Once we reach Earth, we'll disassemble its tactical systems. Our experts will want to examine it. With any luck, we should be able to replicate the phase cannons and upgrade the rebels. Won't know what hit them. What you've accomplished could alter the course of the war. The people of the Earth are in your debt, Commander.
That's Captain. You're relieved, Admiral.
Travis takes out Admiral Black's bodyguard with an impressive high kick. Archer disintegrates the Admiral with the phaser. We focus on the ISS Avenger shuttle bay. The 2 crews are assembled for a speech from their new captain.
Our entire assault fleet wiped out by a rebel attack. Thousands of your fellow Starfleet officers dead. If the Defiant hadn't arrived when it did, all of you would be among them. And who are we to blame for this? Not the brave men and women who gave their lives for the Empire. The criminals who are losing this war are sitting in their comfortable offices back at Starfleet Command. Their weakness invited our enemies to strike, and their corruption and arrogance have brought the Empire to the brink of defeat. I've been a soldier all my life, and I will not stand by and let these people destroy an empire that has endured for centuries. I ask you, all of you, to join me, except for the asshole who just opened a pan of pop. We cannot put down this rebellion so long as our forces are commanded by dishonorable men. Before we can defeat the rebels, we must defeat them. That shit up there is the key to our victory. With the Defiant on our side, there will be nothing to stop us.
We focus on Soval's quarters.
Enter.
T'Pol enters and raises her hand in the traditional Vulcan greeting.
Not wise to make that gesture, even behind closed doors. It is agreeable to see you again.
Did you review the historical files?
Soval nods.
The implications are intriguing.
Intriguing.
This alternate universe is very different from ours. I'm not certain a federation could ever exist here.
I thought you were an idealist.
That was many years ago.
We have to take action. Archer intends to overthrow Starfleet and the Emperor.
Archer is right. The Empire has become corrupt. New leader may change things for the better.
Not for our people. The weapons on that ship will annihilate the rebels, including thousands of Vulcans. We can give them an advantage.
How?
I can download the data on Defiant's engines and tactical systems. We'll give it to them.
It will be of little value. Archer still controls that ship.
I'm going to destroy that ship.
What?
I can disable Defiant's power systems, but I'll need your help. Do you want to spend the rest of your life serving the Empire?
I'm too old to become a revolutionary.
I know Archer. He blames our people for inciting the rebels. If he becomes Emperor, he'll lay waste to Vulcan. I can't do this without you.
We focus on the USS Defiant, captain's quarters. It's night. Archer is sitting on the end of the bed when Hoshi wakes and starts caressing and kissing him.
My senior officers don't think I could do this.
They'll come around.
T'Pol doesn't approve either. I can see it in her eyes.
Maybe it's time to get rid of her, now that the ship's operational.
Not just her. We'll get rid of all the non-Terrans. I'll transfer them off Defiant.
All of them?
The rebels have spies everywhere. I can't afford to have a single alien aboard my flagship.
I hope you're not planning on getting sick anytime soon. In case you haven't noticed, your doctor is an alien.
I've got nothing against Phlox. His people aren't rebels. It's not in their nature. He can stay.
I've never been the consort of an emperor before. Is there anything I need to know?
I think you've got the basics down.
We focus on the bridge. We focus on the bridge. T'Pol is copying files when Archer comes on deck.
Put me through to Fleet Commander Gardner. Corporal, escort Commander T'Pol to Transporter Room 2. Your service aboard this ship is no longer required.
Travis removes her dagger and phaser. Gardner appears on screen.
Archer! What the hell is going on?
I take it you received my message.
You demanded Starfleet's unconditional surrender! Have you lost your mind?
You've seen the specs of the Defiant? You know what its weapons can do.
I want to speak with Admiral Black!
He's not available right now. I suggest you order your forces to stand down. Starfleet can't afford to lose any more ships.
This is your only warning, Commander! Do not approach Earth, or you will be fired upon!
Fleet Admiral Gardner has abruptly closed the channel. We focus on a corridor. Bridge to Dr. Phlox.
This is Phlox.
There's a medical emergency on the Avenger. You're needed immediately.
Acknowledge.
We focus on the ISS Avenger corridor. Phlox meets Soval and T'Pol.
Neither of you appears to be injured.
We focus on the ISS Avenger shuttle bay.
Sabotage on the Defiant? Have you lost your senses?
You're the only non-Terran on the Defiant. Any of us would arouse suspicion.
You heard Archer's speech. He's delusional.
It is not a delusion if the captain has the power to do what he says. And from what I've seen, he most certainly does. I should report you both.
Are you loyal to the Empire or not?
Of course I am.
Archer plans to kill the Emperor and take his place.
The captain has proven himself in battle. Perhaps he should rule the Empire.
If Archer fails, his crew will have to answer for his crimes.
Will be executed. There's an old tradition. If someone saves the Emperor's life, it's said there's no request he can refuse them. Consider the possibilities. A medical facility of your own with unlimited resources. You could conduct experiments as you see fit.
Don't forget the females.
Females?
You'll be able to choose as many concubines as you like.
If the Emperor were my patient, I would be obligated to save his life. I suppose what you're suggesting isn't that different.
We focus on the ISS Avenger corridor. T'Pol calls for a turbolift. The door opens and she is confronted by Hoshi and a MACO pointing guns at her.
What's this?
Save it, Commander. The schematics you downloaded. Where are they?
Schematics?
The MACO disarms her.
Let's go.
T'Pol knocks down the MACO, but gets cut by Hoshi.
I was hoping you'd put up a fight.
I'm surprised you're not exhausted from all the beds you've jumped into recently.
Commander Tucker told me I should give you a few pointers in that area.
T'Pol knocks Hoshi down and makes her escape. But the MACO recovers enough to shoot her in the back.
Bring her.
We focus on the USS Defiant. Phlox makes his way up a Jeffries tube. We focus on the ISS Avenger bridge, and Andorian hauls a dead human out of the helm chair.
Shut down the turbo lifts. Secure the bridge.
We focus on the briefing room. Archer is questioning T'Pol.
Who are you working with? I hope you're prepared to die.
My death will change nothing. You will not prevail.
The Defiance will prevail. It's simply a matter of firepower.
The Federation is our future.
You're mistaking our universe for someone else's.
It may take centuries, but humanity will pay for its arrogance.
Ooh, foreshadowing. We focus on the USS Defiant corridor. Phlox is about to do his sabotage when his communicator beeps.
These interruptions aren't helping.
I need an estimate.
The inside of this panel doesn't look anything like the schematic you gave me.
You need to remove the Deutronic module. The relays are behind it.
I've removed the module.
You have to disengage the flow regulators now before you remove the relays, or the plasma will ignite. Someone's trying to override the bridge lockouts. Doctor, you must hurry.
We focus on the USS Defiant bridge. The warp field's fluctuating.
It's power drain. Primary
I'll
EPS
alert the
relays.
captain.
No. It's probably just a micro fracture in the conduit. Do you really want to interrupt the captain for that? I'll handle it.
Yes, sir.
We focus on the briefing room.
Take a team aboard Avenger. Confine every alien on that ship.
There's no point in continuing. She's not going to talk. We should kill her.
You've been looking forward to that for a while, haven't you?
There's a jolt as Phlox removes the flow regulators.
Archer to the bridge. Report!
Main power's offline. We've dropped out of warp. We focus on the ISS Avenger bridge.
Close to 10,000 meters. Target their primary hull.
A barrage of torpedoes set off explosions. We focus on the USS Defiant.
Phlox to Saval. I'm finished here. Stand by to transport.
But he gets jumped by Tucker instead.
What the hell
They
have you
wrestle.
done, boy?
We focus on the Defiant bridge.
I need weapons!
Everything's offline. We focus on the ISS Avenger bridge.
Continue firing.
We focus on the USS Defiant. Tucker knocks out Phlox and puts the flow regulators back. We focus on the Defiant bridge. Primary systems are coming back. We have shields.
Raise them!
We focus on the ISS Avenger bridge.
Survive the Phlox.
We focus on the USS Defiant.
Our power upgrades have been restored. What's happening? Doctor! Respond!
We focus on the bridge. Weapons are online.
Destroy them!
The Defiant fires on the Avenger and explosions begin. We focus on the ISS Avenger bridge.
Get us out of their weapons range! Divert all power to hull plating!
We focus on the Defiant bridge.
They've taken heavy damage.
They're trying to escape.
Photon torpedoes. Lock on to their reactor.
On board the Avenger, Soval yells out as he and his crew are destroyed.
Oh!
And the Avenger falls apart in a ball of flame. We focus on the captain's quarters. Hoshi and Archer are in bed again.
Oh, yeah. Before I forget, first thing tomorrow, I want you to erase the historical database. I don't want anyone else getting any ideas about this Federation of Planets.
We'll lose all the data on our counterparts.
She picks up 2 glasses of champagne off the floor and hands one to Archer.
Exactly.
It'll only take a day for the fleet to return to Earth. Do you think the commanders will support you?
They're loyal to the Emperor. They don't really care who it is. By the time the fleet arrives, the reign of Emperor Jonathan Archer will have already begun.
He pours the champagne into his mouth.
Once we put down the rebellion, I'll expand the empire throughout.
He stiffens and falls off the bed.
Are you all right?
Hoshi gets off the bed, steps over Archer, and continues to the door. She lets Travis in, who sees Archer writhing on the floor. Instead of helping Archer, Hoshi and Travis begin to kiss. Archer dies? We focus on the bridge.
Open a channel to Fleet Admiral Gardner.
Channel open.
This is the Starship Defiant. If you don't surrender immediately, we'll begin targeting your cities. Respond.
Where's Archer? Who the hell are you?
You're speaking with Empress Sato. Prepare to receive instructions.
The end.
Yes, that concludes our reading of Star Trek Enterprises in a Mirror Darkly, season 4, episode 18 and 19 back to back. I'm gonna get the big headphones off here. A moment here. Switch off to my earbuds. So that was a great read. It ended up being about 97 minutes altogether. I want to introduce our great cast. So about an hour and a half to do this 2-hour episodes. That makes a lot of sense. I'm Dave Bader, and I was mostly playing scared and angry people who screamed a lot. This is Jane Mader. She was playing Hoshi Sato, who took over the entire Terran Empire at the end there with the big turnaround.
Yep.
Bringing in next, we had my brother Jeff, who was was only one character, but don't tell that character. It was Phantom of the Opera. And as soon as you came in as Phantom of the Opera, I was like, there's no way he's gonna maintain this. There's no way he could sing for the whole episode.
It would have taken me to.
And
I
was
hoping
to
read everything in it too.
I was hoping at the end for a Scottish Arnold Schwarzenegger singing Cowboy.
My favorite part was
so hard
version.
Those.
So you were Commander Tucker, the Phantom of the engine room, as we were saying. These are all the mirror versions too. Bringing in next, we have Kevin Millard in the role of Major Malcolm Reed. And we also had Ashley in the role of Sergeant Travis Mayweather, as well as the narrator and the computer and female crewman. Great job. We also have here Jody Simpson, who was in the role of Captain Maximilian Forrest, who you died, and you also.
I've been dead for 20 pages. Oh yeah,
you died twice in this episode.
Yes,
both your characers died.
I'm beginning to think you're trying to send me a message, Dave.
I know, I just worked out that way, but like it was, so you had more to do, I'd say, in the first half of that, than in the second half. But
very much so.
Thanks for waiting around for the next half.
I was playing the Switch while I was waiting.
Bringing in next, we have Tom Mott Tyrell, who was in several roles, including the Vulcan Stovall. He was also Artholian prisoner, who was doing the screeches.
Great performance.
Those screeches were top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was excellent. And you were crewman, and I'm trying to remember if there's anybody else I forgot, but you were like me. You were in many roles tonight. Also bringing in, we had Michael Chan in the role of Commander / Captain Jonathan Archer, and we have Jessica Chan in the role of T'Pol, the pouty T'Pol, as we know. And great job. A lot of dialogue for you two, especially for many of us in this episode. I had a lot of fun with this one. I was like, it was a big undertaking because it crosses over from Enterprise into original series sounds and settings and things like that. So there was sound-wise, there was a lot. It was challenging for me, which is why we couldn't really go ahead last week because it was too much. So did you guys have fun?
Oh yeah,
of course.
Yeah, that's fun. Yep.
Yeah, again, we can't all be on camera, so I took all the maters down.
Non-mater.
The sounds were really good.
Yeah,
worth the wait. I like the transition to all the original series sounds once they got on the Defiant. It was really good.
Oh, thank you. No, that was like I was like, oh, we're good. But I never had I had all the original series sounds. That was the easy part. It was the Enterprise sounds I didn't have yet, so I had to make those mostly from scratch, and that took a lot of time. And then we had to, and then we forgot to mention Jaemeel was in the pre-recorded role of Dr. Phlox, which I thought worked pretty well, except for that one little kind of bumble in the middle I messed up.
The repeat.
There was I played his line. I played the wrong line. And then I was like, do I play the wrong line
again?
Or
it's a good line.
It's a really good line.
Yeah,
he would totally.
I have to admit though, Dave, the Scooby-Doo thing from Wayne's World was pretty good.
I like the sexy time music the best.
Oh, I love the sexy time music.
I should have queued that up more in the script.
Wow.
I'm a little worried about the fact that Dave gave his wife this part where basically she sleeps with everybody.
I got a lot
weird.
tonight. Got a lot.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
She slept her way to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do.
You went from Captain Forrest.
Yes.
Then you went to Archer.
I got
and then
Archer
you ended up with
too.
Travis by the end.
Yes.
Right?
That was kind of off screen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's
I just want to say I felt very awkward.
That's Travis sleeping his way to the top.
Well, Travis kind of
Yeah, he did.
He was the concubine of the Empress.
It's that high kick of his that really won her over.
Yes.
If you design your uniforms with crop tops for women, I don't know what they expect. I mean, this is going to happen eventually.
Descendant of.
I had wondered
Hoshi.
that.
That's what I was wondering too.
Yeah, the connection between them isn't how Georgiou becomes Empress is untold. So it's but she had access to the Defiant. She mentions that in the episode, which we're actually going to do next. We're going to be doing Vaulting Ambition next, which was one of those mirror episodes that took place in Discovery's first season while they were in that universe. It's kind of the middle chapter of that story, so we're kind of in the middle. It's got a lot of Georgiou. It's got I think it's the scene where they're eating the Kelpians and stuff. So we're going to be doing that next week. It's only going to be an hour, so it won't be a full what are we coming up on here? 2 hours. But it was fun. I think also playing mirror universe characters. Do you guys all think so? Like playing evil?
Oh, yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so. Did you like my blue alien? He was like, please.
Yeah, it was great.
It was spot on. Isn't that
All
exactly
yours were
what
pretty
it
good, Dave.
When you did the please, I was trying to come up with some sort of quirk joke to fit in there as the narrator, and
it was basically my quirk.
Yeah, it was quirk, please, from Alan Moraine. It was so good.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I can't retire this. It's like you can bring it out of the toolbox when you need it, you know. So, no, I had a lot of fun. So we're gonna keep doing. We're gonna do a mirror universe in each series, kind of going chronologically. So we did Enterprise. Now we're gonna be moving into Discovery next week, and then we'll be doing the original series. We'll be doing the original Mirror. This Next Gen doesn't have a mirror episode, so we're probably going to be doing yesterday's Enterprise, which is kind of the closest thing they have to one, even though we've done that already. But we're going to do it better because that was our original first episode way back when, not even a year ago. So
no, last year.
Yeah, last year.
There was like a different president and everything. Like this was ages ago.
That was before we even did sounds. Like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to listen to that one again without any sounds, right?
There's no sounds in it. I was doing the narration and playing Picard in that one. And
Yes.
So that's like, I feel like we need to redo it anyway. And then
Is that the really, really fast narration?
Yes.
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
the one where I was like, "Why is this sped
Speed
up? Why are
narration.
you playing this sped up?" And they're like, "Dave, this is how fast you were going." But I was kind of
Yeah.
yeah. It was, you had to. There was nerves for the first time.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't know. I think we've all kind of. A lot of us have talked about how we had nerves kind of the first time we were ever doing this. Mott kind of has expressed similar thoughts to me at times. But now he's a pro, so he doesn't sweat. But yeah, that's, I'm like, okay, we could probably do a take two. Although I don't have to play Picard again. Although I would love to blow the dust off that character and bring him back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not good enough. Not good enough. Damn it.
I actually do have.
Not good enough, damn it. Not good enough.
Dave. Yeah, I do.
Not good enough.
I don't
Good
know.
enough, damn it.
I just feel it doesn't feel right. It just something is wrong.
How can I ask them to sacrifice themselves based solely on your intuition?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Intuition.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just know it's not right.
I was like,
How can I will not
I'm part French. It's okay. So it's.
Oh my God, I laughed my
I
ass
thought
off.
we were just reading, all of a sudden you guys started like acting. I'm like, I'm just reading. I thought we were just reading.
Acting. You have to be Jean-Luc Picard, right? Whatever you want to make it. It's big fun with it. So it was a lot of fun. Thanks for sticking around and watching all this, and we will see you again next week. We also have Tuesdays, Deep Space Nine rewatches. Wednesdays, we're doing original series, and Thursdays, well, we just wrapped up a whole Star Trek Discovery. We did a big deep dive last night. So if you haven't watched Star Trek Discovery Season 3, we have all these companion podcasts, which are really great. Michael, we also had Kevin and Jody in last night as part of that deep dive. Really great.
Yeah, it was good. I listened to that today. It was good.
Podcasts too. We got Discovery. We got Lower Decks. We got Picard. We got Star Trek movies. Anything you want, it's all out there. And we have our other channels, Super Mater Brothers Podcasting, where Jeff and I talk about Survivor and other things, and Big Brother and Westworld, and we also have Trivial Debates, where we do a kind of a fun fight about movies, TV, sports, and more at the end of each month on a debate show. So we'll be doing that actually in a couple weeks. So anyway, thanks so much.